From mountains to repurposed underground coal mines that age bourbon to music and adventure, Eastern Kentucky has its sights set on becoming a major tourism destination. There's more to the region than the storied Hatfield and McCoy family feud. Elected officials, entrepreneurs, and outdoor enthusiasts say that for those looking to swap big city tours for quaint small town charm with adventure options galore, Pikeville and Pike County is just the getaway for them. I visited the area a couple of weeks ago to learn more with State Senator Philip Wheeler, who hails from Pikeville, as our tour guide.
Well, you know, when I first got elected in 2019, we had been through some struggles, obviously, with the decline in the coal industry, which, you know, carried this region for many generations. So coming up with a new, not necessarily replacement, but at least a concurrent industry to diversify our economy was really something that, you know, was a goal of mine. I mean, and you're sitting in the perfect example of that right now. I mean, you know, Shannon and Kendall Wright took a facility that, you know, had been through some tough times, and they're now investing their dedication and their resources here to Eastern Kentucky to make sure that it flourishes here in our community and serves as another attraction to get people into this area.
Kendall Wright is one half of the Brothers Wright Distilling.
So we're sitting in the entryway to the Dueling Barrels Distillery, which is now the Brothers Wright Distilling Company. My brother and I took over the facility about 8 weeks ago. We are local boys. We built our brands and our companies right here locally. 350-gallon moonshine still, and then we have a spirit. We've been in business nearly 30 years, and we started going down this avenue about 5 years ago, and just had a passion for bourbon and the bourbon industry. We also have production capabilities from being able to run all the equipment from the basement as well.
The Brothers Wright Distilling Company is known for aging its Kentucky straight bourbon whiskey in an over 100-year-old repurposed underground coal mine. The former Dueling Barrels, which the brothers Kendall and Shannon acquired, was the vision of late Alltech founder Pierce Lyons, who with his wife Deirdre created a visitor experience reminiscent of their native Ireland. It was Eastern Kentucky's first combined beer, bourbon, and moonshine operation.
The Lyons family built such an amazing facility here, and really, it really opened before COVID, but COVID kind of slowed it down quite a bit, and they reached out to us about 6 months ago and asked us if we'd be interested, and we figured out how to make it happen.
So when you look at, you know, the old Dueling Barrels brochure, you know, it talks about bourbon country, moonshine belt, and Appalachian craft beer corridor, and Pikeville is the intersection of all three of those things. Is that still what's happening here?
It is, and it's kind of our vision as well, although we're mainly our plans were mainly for bourbon, but this facility was set up beautifully to do craft beers and single malt liquors, and at some point, we're going to jump into all those. We're really kind of focusing in the latter part of 25 here is to produce some quality bourbon and get it in barrels, so a few years down the road that we can sit in here and have a sip of it. But we will jump into all of those avenues at some point. Right now we're wading into the waters, trying not to get in over our head.
The 30,000 square foot facility in downtown Pikeville has a street side peak at the 3 Vendome copper pot stills, a 350-gallon moonshine still, 19 stainless steel fermenters, 2 traditional Cypress fermenters, and beer brewing equipment capable of producing 40,000 barrels annually, plus a gift shop and event space. What's the 5-year vision or plan?
Well, this was like the 10-year vision, and I'm already standing in the middle of it.
You're an overachiever.
Well, you know, I didn't, you know, this was a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. You either figure out how to make it happen or you get out of the way, and we were fortunate enough to try to make this thing happen now. So I'm afraid to say what a 5-year vision is, because the next few steps of this is obviously I've got to build another distillery at the location in Belfry, Kentucky, which is where the mine's located at. I've got a 1,200-acre property there that's set up for this, and so I'll have a distillery here in downtown Pikeville, and I have a distillery in Belfry, Kentucky, and we're going to try to get tours and tastings in an old coal mine that was opened in 1913.
Even though the Bourbon Trail doesn't make its way yet to eastern Kentucky, there are many hoping the Brothers Wright earns Pikeville a star on that map. Now, if you're looking for a trail of a different sort, here's an idea. When we talk about adventure tourism, for somebody who's like, well, exactly what is that? How would you define it?
Well, I think the definition is a little bit different for everyone. I mean, for me, you know, I do enjoy getting out on some of the side-by-sides and ATVs and going out for a day.
Sounds like a plan. Now, this isn't your granddad's all-terrain vehicle. This is the Cadillac version.
Okay, so what we got right here is a CF Moto U-Force Highlander, and it's the U10 XL, and it's a really neat machine because it's cabin closed. Power windows, power flip windshield. You've got heat and AC, so we're about to be in comfort. If you get cold or if you get hot, we can fix that and adjust it.
These $20,000 to $40,000 machines, as they're called, take us on Phase 1 of the Hillbilly Trail System, 20 miles south of Pikeville on US 23. Jerry Atkins is the director of the trail system. He says visitors come from all over the U.S. to dig their wheels in, as do visitors from Canada and Mexico.
This is our Phase 1. It's called Flatwoods Trailhead. We have over 100 miles of trail here on nearly 6,000 acres of land.
Wow. And how long has this been around?
We're just starting our third year now.
Yeah. What's the big vision?
Well, we're going to start at Phase 2 on the northern end of the county. This is the southern tip of the county where we're at now. Pike County, Kentucky, in landmass is one of the largest, if not the largest county in landmass east of the Mississippi River. We're going to go to the other side of the county, start a second phase all the way across the county.
The thrill of the ride might get your blood pumping, but the sights you see when you put it in park certainly will soothe your soul.
Well, you're going to be well surprised. We've got beautiful views, overlooks, we've got great trails, rock formations, just a great variety of things that you'll be seeing.
If you need to stretch your legs on the way to these picturesque overlooks, jump out into these swings made by volunteers to kick up your heels for a while. You're certainly going to feel like a kid again.
All right.
Take you back to your childhood.
That's awesome.
It's a lot of fun.
So, Jerry, what does this mean in terms of like the tourism economy here to have this trail?
Well, it's bringing in a great amount of tourism dollars, and more so, it's a lot of county citizens are becoming entrepreneurs. Since, as I said, the trail's been open over 2 years now, and we've got nearly 20 places of lodging. People have made Airbnbs out of rental units. One campground was completed solely because of this trail system, Hillbilly Trails. We've got 2 more campgrounds under construction over on the South Trailhead side of the trail system. ATV parts stores, repair shops going in, just a lot of entrepreneurs now that had never have been. So it's helping the citizens of the county also.
You know, my long-term vision is, you know, maybe we could become the Switzerland of Eastern Kentucky. Maybe not a large development, but, you know, Switzerland is a place that is scenically beautiful, but also a great manufacturing place with a lot of small manufactories that you know, provide one of the highest standards of living in the world.
Right.
You know, I don't know that we'll get there overnight, but as long as I'm in office, my dedication is going to be to this area that I grew up in.
We had an hour-long discussion about Eastern Kentucky and the tourism adventures there on a recent and special edition of Kentucky Tonight. We also visited Bell and Boyd counties and talked with tourism leaders about the tourism boom in Appalachia. You can watch that program online on demand at ket.org/KY Tonight.